Okay, so let's go over the lunge. You were at a personal training school, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna go over the lunge and show me what they taught you in your version of the lunge and how you would teach a client how to do a lunge. Go ahead.
Well, I step forward, keep the chest up, keep the back nice and straight, sink down into the heel, try not to let the knee touch, come back up.
Okay, do that one more time and freeze that bottom end.
Okay.
Good. Okay, this is good form. Do you notice right now that your heel is lifting in the front?
No.
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah, I'm coming on my toes.
Say it again.
Coming up on my toes.
Coming on your toes.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can see your heel actually lifting. So now step back. Okay, I want you to notice, did you feel how you had to exert extra force to put yourself back to the starting position?
Yes.
Okay, do it one more time. And come back up. Okay, so what are these cues? Tell me about these cues that you're learning. You know, step forward in the lunge, keep your back straight.
Yeah.
You know, and basically, you know, they tell you to go down all the way.
Not all the way. I stopped for a second because I had to hold that. But yeah, you try not to let your knee touch. Make sure your knee doesn't track over your feet. Keep the back nice and straight, chest up, and just try to sink into your glute.
Okay. What I want you to understand is when every single repetition is an assessment. So when you're looking at the client,
Yeah.
when you look at the bend in the knee, I want you to look for anything that's trickling up the system. So any kind of disproportionate force. If they're coming down, trying to keep their back straight, but they're arching their back, or they're leaning forward, or their heels lifting, or the back leg is too straight as they step forward,
Yep.
or they're pulling and they're tilting the pelvis. These are all things you have to be aware of. That's why every rep is an assessment. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Come forward over here more.
Okay.
Just walk forward. No, don't do it lunge. Just come on forward.
Yep.
Okay. Tell me what you think about this. Okay. FixMyFitnessClub.com. I'm here with Rob, and we're going to show you the perfect mechanics for a lunge. Going over he was taught to do a step forward lunge. I'm going to see if I could, you know, do the old Parisi promise and see if he'll agree with me on a new type of lunge that he's going to do with his clients, and you can do this as well. Your feet are together. I want you to slowly step back into your lunge. Get your toe, go into your lunge. Okay, that looked really awkward. Let's try it again. I want you to step back a little further, do a step back lunge, come on down slowly. Now hold that position right there. I'm going to make some adjustments. I want you to flex forward from the hip, get your chest a little higher. Good, nice loose here, good. Tighten your abdomen. Okay, now, coming out of that, just step backwards. Try it again. Step forward, come down. Now step forward again. Now, I want you to do the other version. I want you to step back. Go ahead, step back, go into the lunge. Okay, then step forward. Step back and step forward.
Immediately.
Yep. Step forward. Step back, step forward. Keep going. Okay, relax. Come over here and watch me for a minute.
Yep.
Every time you step back, you hit and you have some kind of a jolt going in there. Did you notice?
No.
Okay. You step back, jolt, you come down, you step forward.
That's when I contract my core. I try to stay upright and then I come
Yeah.
down.
I don't want you to worry about the upright. What I want you to do is just step back, come down, step forward.
Okay.
Step back, step forward.
Okay.
Step back, step forward. Step back, step forward. Try it.
Sounds good.
You step back a little too far. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that stick up your back. Let your hips hinge just slightly forward. There you go. A little easier. Good. I want you to have the hip mobility or the hip flexion. Nice and slow. Slow it down a little bit. Good. Because you're tall, Rob, I don't want you to go anywhere near the floor. Don't let your knee go down to the floor. Nice and slow. Good. Step forward. Now, what did you think about that versus the step forward lunge?
Way more fluid.
I want everybody to hear you.
Way more
Come on
fluid.
down. Fixmyfitnessclub.com with Rob. So what's the difference between the step forward lunge, step forward lunge, and the step back lunge?
The step back lunge was way more fluid. It felt more natural. I felt like I had a lot more control as opposed to coming forward, trying to watch my foot and where it steps, and basically trying to put my weight on that and get a proper lunge. When you come back, it felt a lot more comfortable, like natural.
Typically speaking, in a step forward lunge, especially when it's loaded, makes it even worse. So what I'm about to say, you can elevate to the next level with load application. When you step forward, the femur drives forward into the patella. There's a lot of torque and pull, especially in some of the ligaments, the PCL, the ACL ligament. Depending on the individual and their current structure, you could also have some transverse forces coming out of the condyles of the knee. But predominantly what happens in most environments is you watch somebody doing walking lunges.
Yeah.
You'll see that the heel lifts and the foot shakes because they're on the balls of their feet.
Yeah.
Think about load, how it has to translate up back into the system, and where is it coming out of? What's the force vectors? Where's the risk involved? You know, and you're not contacting the floor for too long of a time where you're putting a lot of emphasis in a certain region because you're walking.
Yeah.
So it's more like you're trying to deal with balance, isn't it?
Yeah, more than anything.
Okay, so I like to slow things down and make it safe. Think of a hinge joint that just has to drop. A step back lunge is that modified hinge that just has to drop. It doesn't have to step forward and deal with any extra forces coming up through the system trying to stabilize. Okay, and you can't equate a step forward lunge to cross-country skiing or skiing because that's not the movement we do.
Yeah, we walk.
Yeah, so, you know, how often do we stand on one leg? Do you have that answer just quickly? How often do we stand on one leg?
I can't. The only time I can ever think of it is either when we walk or when I step out of the shower for half a second.
Okay, the first answer was perfect. A human will balance on one leg every single day, 40,000 times a day. Every time you walk, one foot is up, you're on the other.
Yeah.
So every time your adductors being repositioned, so every time you walk and put one foot in front of the other, you're actually standing on one leg. So you could say that lunges do have something to do with balance.
Absolutely.
Okay, because it's almost like you're on a tightrope. You're on this straight plane instead of a squat where you have this wide base of support, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the step back lunge as a trainer is the one that we would recommend to do on a regular basis if you're trying to really work your quads.
Okay.
That's really what it's all about, the step back lunge. So now I'm going to teach you how to do a walking step back lunge.
Sounds good.
Sounds a little redundant, right? Fixmyfitnessclub.com with Rob, a student here at Fit Pro Academy. Hope you guys at Fix My Fitness Club learned about the lunge and how to do it properly and safely and effectively. Thanks for watching.
Awesome.
I'm just going to stop it and edit it.
Yeah.